Welcome to this week's podcast with Chuckster from World Class Assassins with my man Beast.
This is Beast from your world champion Clerks.
Oh, big time gamer here from the Gigabyte Finals.
Does that make me pro?
Yep.
I think I'm a professional gamer now.
I think we should put Beast in front of Chuckster now for the podcast. It should be the Beast and Chuckster show.
I love it.
So this week's interview, we have someone that is a big deal all of a sudden. 2 weeks ago, he was kind of a joke. This week, we have Gigabyte champion Triplesek with us.
Woo!
That's all you got for us? Last time it was just so epic, and now...
I'm a little hungover. I need help.
Still hungover from the match?
I'm hungover in general. I just need help. Help!
Help! So,
Help's on the way, sir.
I gotta ask you, since everybody was talking about how you're gonna run through the streets with your dick in your hand, did you do it?
Yeah, I did.
I knew it.
I didn't record it, you know. I didn't want anybody to know how big of a nerd I was, so I kept it, I kept it under wraps.
They didn't want to see, you didn't want people to see the SWF? Or no, it's not SWF, it's SWP.
Whatever that means, yes, I agree.
Small white penis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Not the BBC of peace.
Right. Anyway, this episode is going to be all about Gigabyte. We're going to recap it. We're going to tell you all about it. We're going to tell you just all the info. We got Triplesek here, obviously. Clerks won, as we already told you. So first question for Triple here is kind of about your impressions of Gigabyte in general. When you first saw this tournament up, what were your initial thoughts? How for sure were you that you wanted to do this tournament?
I wasn't really sure I wanted to get back into Battlefield, but the prizes were kind of nice, and I can't remember a Battlefield tournament, an online tournament at least, with that kind of change, with that kind of cheddar. So it wasn't a really difficult decision. All we had to do is get a few of the pieces to the puzzle, like Macaulay and a couple other guys. And once we got the groundwork started with our roster, we were like, what the fuck, we're going to give it a go.
So did you come back for Gigabyte, or did you actually just come back to beat any particular teams? And I know you always had a thing for rivals, so...
We came back for Gigabyte. The fact that Rival was still playing, and the fact that we knew that, okay, we're probably going to have to beat them if we want to, win the whole thing, was just an extra bonus.
It's always a bonus when you can face the best teams in the game. Not only Rival, but other teams. It kind of brings me to your next question, or my next question, I guess. Like, I know before the tournament actually started, you had iterated to me many times that the main team that you were afraid of, or maybe not afraid of, but concerned about, was Rival. You never seemed to be too worried about the likes of WK, Nexus, Crucial. As you played this tournament, and you actually played most of the top teams, did your feelings on these teams change? Or was it still pretty much Rival or bust?
Yeah, my feelings changed basically when we started to get into the scrims. Early on, we were getting beat by mostly everybody pretty badly, and I started to kind of gain a little bit of respect for the likes of Nexus and WK. They had the advantage on us, mainly because we hadn't played for a while, and we had to readjust our shots again and kind of get in the flow of stratting and scrimming, and these guys had a leg up on it, and it showed pretty early on. So when I realized, the skill level had pretty much changed, for the worse, I started to kind of get a little respect for those teams in particular. I mean, they're really good teams, and both matches with Nexus and WK could have went either way. I mean, it could have been us, getting knocked out against Nexus if, a certain thing went the wrong way, especially with WK. I mean, they could have easily, beaten us there, and we would have been playing for third. So, shout out to those teams. They played very well.
Yeah. You played against a WK when you were in Massive Unit, right?
Yeah.
Old WK team.
Yeah, WK was, they were all right back then, but we didn't consider them to be on our level. It was pretty much Hot and Rival that we had to deal with, I believe. So they weren't really on our radar per se.
All right, let's kind of move towards the championship match against Rival. I guess now, before we actually get into the match details, kind of talk about the decision by the admins to allow Limitless to play in the finals. I know that was kind of a hot topic. People have strong feelings on that. I know that you feel pretty strongly that Limitless has done everything right and he should be allowed to play. So talk about the decision by the admins to allow Limitless to play.
Well, I think the admins, I'll first kind of give a shout out to those admins. I don't know if they watch this or not, but they are not biased towards anyone. They there were some hiccups in the tournament, obviously, but they tried to make it as fair as possible for everybody. But with respect to Limitless, whatever his past was, whatever it is, everybody's going to make mistakes in their life, whether it's in a video game or, in actual real life. And based on his accomplishments in LANs and based on, the fact that he played for major North American teams in COD 4, like Pandemic, we felt like that, okay, maybe he had a shady past, but, the guys won several LANs, North America and Europe, with Pandemic. If they were able to kind of say, okay, we'll give them a shot, then why shouldn't we? And that's kind of the way we took it.
So you went with Limitless. You knew it was going to be some added baggage. Did you expect it to hit you in the finals?
I didn't expect it to hit us in the finals because Rival was actually, for the first time in known history for Rival, they were pretty classy about it. They were okay with him playing. They stated all over the BF3 esports forums that, they didn't mind him playing, and they had a large part in, him actually being able to play. If they weren't going to allow him to play, he probably wouldn't have played. And they decided, based on his recordings and the fact that, we were going to try to stream it, then, he was probably going to be clean. I believe he's clean, for the past 4 or 5 years, but they obviously had their doubts. But Rival pretty much gave us the go-ahead. So when they gave us the go-ahead to play him, I didn't think that they were going to try to do anything. If they did, they were going to have to, they were basically lying to the whole community if they went back on their word. So I wasn't really too worried about it after that.
So did you have a backup plan? Did you have a backup plan for the event that Limitless was banned? I think they did give you the option to expand your roster a couple players to fill those holes. But did you have a backup plan for that?
We had a backup plan. His name is Goodspeed. I've been playing competitive FPS with him for a long time. I've actually LAN with him before. So in the event that Limitless didn't get to play, we were going to play GS. He plays for Epsilon on the Xbox. He's a very, very good player. Might even be better than Limitless himself. So we were ready to go no matter what happened.
Yeah, let's get into the match itself. We prepared pretty hard for that match. As soon as we found out that it was Scene Crossing, we went at it pretty hard. The scrims were kind of rocky. We lost to the likes of Crimson. They actually beat us pretty good. And then at the same time, we took rounds off of WK later in our scrim. So how confident were you, Triple, going into the match that we had enough to beat Rival?
I wasn't confident at all, pretty much. We talk a lot of shit to Rival. It's pretty clear on that fact. But when you actually have to play them, you have to realize that, they've won this whole time, all these tournaments and all these games for a reason. When it comes to match time, they are prepared, and to beat them, you have to bring your absolute best game to the table. So pre-game, there was really no confidence on my part I was just kind of relaying the message to the whole team that, if we're going to lose here tonight, guys, we're going to make them earn it, and we're going to win or die as a team, and I think that kind of, stated the way we all felt about it. None of us were particularly confident. We just wanted to get in there and do everything we could to get the win.
What was the best map that you guys could have drawn to play against Rival where you would have felt confident?
I would probably say Tehran Highway, mainly because with Tehran, there's 2 vehicles, and we utilize our tanks very, very well. A lot of teams are kind of they don't understand how to deal with our vehicles because we play one really passive and we play one really aggressive, more of a harassment. And teams have been having a lot of difficulties dealing with our play style with those tanks. WK in particular on Karkin, we use the LAV the entire round to basically tie up their tank and to harass their back flags. We never wanted to push their back flags. We just wanted to really harass it to kind of fuel our infantry. We wanted to take, the tank out of the fight. And that's pretty much what we were going to hope to do on Tehran against Rival if we got that map. We were going to tie up their vehicles really well. We felt like we had the better tankers hands down, and we were just going to, harass them to hell and really get on their back flags and kind of do what we did against Hot on Karg Island. We used a lot of harassment to kind of throw them off their game. And that's what I would have felt really comfortable if we would have had gotten that map.
So now that you're champions, like what do you actually think it says about teams that can be put together in a couple weeks or so, but just before a tournament and win it all? Is it good or bad for the community?
I think it's great for the community because, people get tired of watching the same people walk away with the championships. It's always nice to have, new teams, new fresh, teams come in there and compete on a top level. I mean, it's healthy, I believe, for the competitive, scene for any game. You always want, up and coming guys. You always want to kind of refresh the top teams out there. You always want to keep it competitive and always have that, going for your community. That means your community is growing, I think. So I mean, I think it's great I think it's great that we were able to do what we were able to do.
Well, hopefully it actually gives teams like X Factor's Minions, community, basically built from the community. Hopefully it just gives them a little bit more positive attitude that, hey, we have a chance at doing this too. We got something good. Let's keep going with this. And new teams that are even thinking about joining.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I know when I joined up with Clerks, the message was pretty clear. It's, we're in this to win, and if you want to win in this game, it's not that difficult. You got to put in the time, and you got to scrim, and you got to communicate, and you got to come up with strats, and everyone has to follow them. And if everyone follows the strats and holds their positions, then you're going to be a good team. It doesn't matter if you don't have the greatest shots in the world or you don't have the greatest tanker. If you follow strats and you practice a lot, you're going to do well in this game. And I think a lot of teams, hopefully new teams, follow that message. And I don't know, I hope that it encourages people to sign up, because teams can be new and they can come in and they can be an immediate impact, like no doubt about it. That's one good thing about having a smaller community, is that new teams can come in here and they can get noticed immediately. This isn't Counter-Strike or COD where there's all these different levels of competition. If you're good enough to compete, then you're going to get noticed. And all it takes is putting the time in, and it's very possible for anybody. So my last question, Trip, the rumors are that Clerks is retired. They're done. Triplesek apparently is done with Battlefield. So what are your plans going forward, not only for yourself, but maybe for some of your teammates as well?
Well, I know a couple of our teammates will stay with BF3, Filthy and Shane, Nicholas and Limitless, and maybe some others. So if you're looking for some guys, yeah, Beast, sorry, forgot. My bad, buddy. So if you're looking for some guys to pick up, there you go. Me personally, I just don't get the enjoyment out of this game that I used to. Mainly because of what DICE has done to the game. It's hard to play a game that you don't enjoy playing. You know, it's even if there's money on the line, it's just really not worth it, in my opinion, to keep playing a game that you don't enjoy. So for me, I'm probably gonna just lay low. Probably get into some, Diablo 3, nerded out there a little bit, but in terms of Battlefield 3 competition, yeah. I think I am very well done.
Triple, I understand why you didn't say Beast's name, because he's pretty much god awful.
Here it comes.
And nobody would want to pick him up in the first place. So at least the other guys, you got a little hope for him. They'll probably find a decent team. Beast, he's gonna float away.
At least I'm getting that playing time. So.
Oh, PT time. Oh, how I miss PT time. Fuck you.
Anyway, that's all I got for him. Chuck, you got any last questions?
No, I don't. Do you have your own little shout out? You got a shout out for somebody?
I've got a shout out to any team out there that may listen to this, that may not be so good. Just put in the time, the dedication, and you never know what can happen. It's a war of attrition in any kind of competition, especially in Battlefield, because one day you might scrim really well, the next day not so much, but just keep your head down, grind it out, and, hopefully you'll find some success.
Yeah, and to add to that, don't let scrims get you down. Like, if we quit after every scrim that we lost, like, we would have quit, like, a bajillion times. Like, use scrims to your advantage, try out new strategies, new positions, like, don't worry about it until you're in a match, and then things will come together in a match. People just play better, and they play disciplined, and just don't let scrims ruin your team. If you're new, just please, it's the worst thing ever. Just don't do that.
Yes, I'm pretty confident we've lost 80 to 90% of our scrims in Battlefield 3. And it's just because we like to try different things. We don't go into going into scrims thinking that, all right, we got to win to basically prove ourselves is kind of a joke, because you never know what can happen in a match. People get nervous in matches. People make bad decisions in matches. When it's on the line, that's when you worry about fucking, damn, we just lost. But in a scrim, don't worry about that shit.
Yeah, and as an example, just not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago, or probably 2 weeks ago, we scrimmed Rival on Scene Crossing, and they capped us. They 4-capped us on US, and we lost by like 230 tickets or something. And we used that and said, okay, what the hell went wrong? And then we changed things, and then come match time a couple weeks later, we were a whole new team, and the results were obviously different. So.
All right. Well, take those words from the wise Gigabyte champions, and they are officially out. The team is done. They're gonna take the championship and run. Thanks to Triplesek for joining us, and Beast for always doing this podcast with me. He is looking for a team, even though he's pretty terrible.
Yeah, I'm kind of bad, so I wouldn't recommend picking me up.
All right, Triple, I think that's all we got for you, so I really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
No problem, guys. I love you. Love you long time.
Love you, Trip.
Way to retire on top as the Gigabyte champions.
Woo, 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 woo! Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, is that where Beast gets it from?
Yep.
All right, well, let's get to our favorite part. Well, mostly mine, but the shout-outs.
Let's get to the shout-outs.
Shout-outs, baby. I got a shout-out for Vital Syntax from me. That video on Swifty was fabulous. More like fabulous.
Don't be gay, but that video was sweet.
especially around the 3-kill mark. The video was just awesome, and hopefully you do that with other tool bags among the community.
Yeah, if that video doesn't convince you that he's hacking, then you're seeing through the wrong eyes, because it's pretty obvious. I just got to give another shout out to our main man Mess, who's hooking us up with these visuals and graphics. It's looking awesome, dude, and keep it up.
Well, we'll go with a little bit of a funnier one here. Got a shout out from Captain Garrett. Mr. Captain Garrett giving a shout out to Bonks for shaving his brown eye.
Not quite sure exactly what that means, but
No, I think I know.
it sounds humorous. I got a shout out from McGreek to Death for being fat and strong lazy eye, bro.
I got a shout out from Dylan, the second tier pilot. He wants to give a shout out to the TWL admins for possibly thinking about a 2v2 ladder, so a top tier pilot like Chuckster, myself, could carry him.
I don't know, Dylan feels pretty confident in his jet skills.
That fucker practices all day.
Yeah, he does. My last shout out here is from Word to Y'all, also known as Rival X Factor with a 0. He wants to give a shout out to one of his Twitch TV buddies, Wormhole Wizard, who recently got a partnership and will be making that Twitch TV money. So don't fuck it up like Word did.
Speaking of Word, gotta give that shout out to all of Word's followers. Just so you guys know, if you are following Word on Twitch TV, he did get banned for some time. Hopefully, he will be back with his vile and vulgar streams.
Yeah, his streams are kind of brutal, but he's a funny guy no matter how you look at it. He's good entertainment, I'll say that.
Alright, so let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I think we're gonna leave you with our clip of the week again, like we did last week, which I think everyone enjoyed. This week is gonna be from the Rival and Clerks Championship match. So hope you enjoy that. And anything else, Chuck?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Then don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Later.
Don't
Get him moved. We gotta see. If you get him moved, infantry needs to stick together. Yeah, go. I want to go courtyard.
Let's go. Come.
Fuck. We have a tank advantage over them, guys.
Yeah, we have a tank, so let's go.
Where do you want me to push?
Push
Wait,
Everyone
it.
fucking go
Yeah,
ahead.
push someone.
Infantry.
CC, 1C.
I can go down really
Infantry,
easy.
do
though.
not push C. Do not push C. Let our tank push A.
Yeah, let's go, we got it, let's go.
Infantry, hold.
Thank Alley Light.
Yeah, Bank Alley. What's up?
One mid corner,
Attack him.
help me.
Guys, the tank is our only advantage right now. We have to fucking do everything we can to...
We need to push A, Light.
I'm trying to push A, but there's like 4 guys here at least.
We've only got one repair because means we are holding spawns.
Go ahead and spawn in. We still have 3 tickets.
Yeah, wait.
Come behind us.
Go ahead and spawn.
He's down behind us. Backing up. Go to repair. Go to
Watch
repair.
their tank spawn. Watch their tank spawn. Should be up soon.
Tanks up. One in.
He's locked. He's so playing locked.
Mid there.
It's a javelin. Just stay. Don't jump.
I'm down.
Tanks down.
I res you.
Good job.
Stay
Alright.
safe. So we
Push
don't
attack.
die.
Push A. You cannot
Stay
die, bro.
safe. So
Mid
we
stairs,
can't
mid's
die.
right by me. There's two in front. Kill them.
Fuck. Hit one.
The bank alley.
Just fucking tack. Shay, don't die, bro.
Their spawn. He's on bridge.
Where are they?
They're all over it.
And bang,
One behind
and
us, one behind us.
And bang.
You got him.
I got the bang guy.
Shane, you cannot
He's
die,
on
bro.
bridge. Down back. Easy.
I got one down.
Where are you? Where are you?
One's on back
Come
bridge.
here, come here. Don't go see it. Don't go see it. Let's go in.
I tagged him.
Let's go.
Right
Tagged
side.
him.
He's down, he's down, he's
Get
down.
in, get everyone on in. Let's go.
I'm almost down, dude. I got
Let's go. This
got
one,
one
this
down.
one.
Do not spawn if you die. Do not spawn if you die.
Do not
Let's
spawn
go.
anybody.
Fake alley,
Behind
fake
this
alley,
week.
fake alley.
Fake alley. Res.
Just res everyone.
got A.
Res me in
I'm
there.
fucking disabled.
The guy's
God.
Let's go. Hold this. Hold it.
God! What the fuck?
Yeah!
Let's go.
Let's go. Don't get
My
it.
fucking
Get
God.
over
Let's
excited.
fucking
Let's
go,
go.
dude.
Just
Let's
focus.
fucking
Get out.
go.
Fucking horseshit.